Today I stayed close in Hertfordshire and spent some time with rising UK MMA prospect Sam Patterson. Currently riding a 7-fight win streak, the lightweight fighter from the outskirts of Watford is attracting attention from the top MMA promotions. So it feels like a good time to go in depth with the man they call the future. Good morning, Sam.
Hey, John. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Very well, very well.
Bright and early?
First thing in the morning, mindset. That's what I like to do, to be honest. Get out before everyone else, get my run in, get my shadow boxing in, and that's it.
You found the only caged part of Radlett.
Yeah, I'm always here. Shadow boxing, doing something. This is just my warm-up to start the day, really. Get a run in,
Sam.
and then I'm here.
What have you done already?
So a nice, fast 5K run.
Okay.
Close to the fight now, so shorter distance. Normally it's 5 miles or 10 miles or even more sometimes, depending if Dave lets me. But today, yeah, 5K run, 3 rounds of shadow boxing, just to start the day before my morning practice at 10:30.
What's interesting about this, Sam, is that 6'3" is a lightweight. Basketball looks more like your thing with your sort of stature.
With school, I used to play basketball, so it weren't too bad.
I reckon this might be the only thing that I could probably beat you at.
What, touching the hoop?
Maybe basketball, maybe football, because
fighting... Oh, I don't know. Football, maybe. I'll probably break my ankle. Last time I played, I broke my ankle, so...
I might have you there.
Yeah.
Everything else, sadly, I think I have to concede.
I think I'll win in the basketball. I've got the height. I've got the height and the feet. Yeah, I'll move too fast.
At least there's something.
I'll definitely play basketball. If you bring the ball next time, we'll set up and play.
Next time, when the sun's shining, we'll come back in the summer and do this.
Good idea.
Well, I guess we don't want to slow you up, so shall we start the day?
Yes, definitely. Get home, have some breakfast, and on to the next one.
So, explain Radlett to us, because I understand there are 2 sides.
Yes, there always has been. You've got the more middle class, let's say, of Radlett, and you've got Battlers Green.
Right.
Battlers Green.
You're Battlers Green?
I'm Battlers Green.
I'm Radlett.
Yeah, some would say you're part of Battlers Green too. People ask, I'm from Battlers Green. I've got a habit of saying that as well. I don't say Radlett. When people ask where I'm from, it's always Battlers Green, because I never classed them the same. Growing up, if people come from Battlers Green and went into the high street, Radlett, you got looks like you were some thug. Without even, maybe back then I was doing thuggish things, but you got automatically classed as a thug. And I was like, so we've always classed it as Battlers Green and to Radlett, really.
Right. So what is it like? You went for your run this morning. You're going around these streets where you've got multi-million-pound houses, and you're in that community, but at the same time keeping it real with Battlers Green. But do you look at the surroundings around here and say, I want some of that, and running past it gives you that kind of motivation? Yes and no, because I wouldn't live in Radlett. If I made a load of money, I'd love a house the size of Radlett, but I wouldn't have it in Radlett. Okay. I just think that, it's different here. But when I run past and I see all the nice cars and everything, I'm not really someone that likes the flash. I will happily ride my push bike to the day I retire. All I need is 2 new tyres. Thank you. 2 new tyres on my push bike, and I'll always, depending on how much money I make, does not matter, I will still ride the push bike. So seeing all the luxuries, the big houses and stuff, I really would like that for my family, more than I would like that for myself. Okay. I will happily just live in a normal sized house with my push bike and ride. But as long as my mum and everything's happy and they have a big house and cars, that would make me more happy, to be honest. Nice. I don't imagine people probably even understand what mixed martial arts is around here. What's the reaction to those in the community about your chosen profession? Well, normally, depending on where I am in Radlett, it depends on the conversation, because if I'm down the high street and people see black eyes and cauliflower ears, I'm just judged straight away. They don't even, they won't even ask what I do, you know? They just assume that I'm a street fighter. It's bad enough if you just wear a tracksuit. So if I'm walking around with a black eye, you get the odd people, but once you actually explain what it is, they actually are interested, especially now the game's come in a lot higher and more evolved. I feel like people are actually taking notice. But back in you say street like MMA, they go, that's like cage fighting stuff, you're a fighter. And they just straight away look at you like in a different light. And it's like, I think that's more Radlett than actually the sport itself, you know? We left Sam to refuel and prep for his 4-mile bike ride to Watford Town Centre and met him at Team Crossface, where he trains under UFC vet and third-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt David Lee.
All right, guys, next one. We've got 1, 2, he goes 1, 2, we continue to drill it. Because what I want to do is try to get my leg so that if he tries to move his legs, I can stay on his leg. I'm hooking, I'm trying to attach to his leg.
This is a kind of a weird situation for me because obviously we know one another. I know Sam, this is like a second home for all of us, but give us a little perspective of Team Crossface, how long it's been around and what the team stands for.
Well, we've been here, this location, for about six and a bit years.
Right.
We had the opportunity to come here like that long ago, and we've continued to develop. I mean, originally the team was just me trying to have some people to train with back in my garden. So now we've developed a good set of guys, good set of teammates, and we're progressing now. And it's all about just creating that level to keep going and going and going, and developing the skills that it would take to be, great martial artists, great martial athletes. And that's what we do here. We just try to keep that blend. We have our primary sort of martial arts of jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, that kind of thing, the combat, submission, wrestling. But for me, from my training with Eric, it's getting that blend of striking, throwing, grappling together and having all the ranges covered.
So Dave, you've fought at the highest level, you've trodden the boards. What does it take to be a great fighter?
Not much.
Is that the secret? Don't
That's
overthink
the
it.
No, that's it, exactly that. I think a lot of people get into training and they get into what we're doing, but then they kind of have this whole elaborate plan, or for me, it just happened. You just train in and you fill up, it's like you fill up a glass and it overfills. You have to get something else, so it just happens. That's the same thing with this. It's like if you come into this day one going, right, which is plausible now because of the spotlight on the sport, but I'm coming in, I'm going to do MMA, and that's my career path. It's not the fight that's the hard bit, that's the easy bit. The hard bit is training to win the fight, training constantly, having that constant development of fights. And then you get some guys that just want to fight, so they only train when they fight. If you want to become a good martial artist and a high-level elite athlete, you need to love training. Yeah, I really love training. So you mean I can train and I can compete and I can maybe earn a living? Oh, this is great because I love training. But if you're just doing it just to try and become, famous or a star, then you're in the wrong game. You might as well just get a YouTube channel unboxing gifts or something if that's what you want to do.
You have a stable of professional and amateur fighters. Sam's obviously one of those guys. What makes him special?
He just trains more. He just does it more and wants it more. That fire's in the belly, When the fire's in the belly and you want something, you do it. So again, he just, everyone else is, oh yeah, but I would train as much as that, but I've got a job, I've got to go out.
Right.
Whereas that's number one priority for Sam. He's young, he's chosen this. Don't get me wrong, what he's chosen to do is hard. Now it seems easy, it seems fun, it seems cool, but it's not. It's like he would probably earn more money at this point in a job in McDonald's, just busting tables or doing just a regular job. He would earn more money, and he'd probably be a bit prettier. You know what I mean? But
he did used to be prettier.
This isn't. When you see the fight, that's just guys go, oh, you get paid for 15 minutes. No, you're not getting. We always there's the saying. I think Maynard said it years ago. The fight's for free. I weigh in for money. But really the fight is the fun bit, the preparation for the fight, the years of training, now not even just a fight camp, but the years of training to be able to do a fight camp, to be able to prepare for a fight, is what you're seeing, what you've put that effort in and that time in. So you're not, realistically, even at the top level, you probably think if you broke it down hourly, it wouldn't be that much money that you're.
No.
Because you train 24/7.
Don't worry, I still didn't.
How many did you do?
5.
5?
Just flow rounds play. Tomorrow's sparring day, Wednesday sparring day, Friday sparring day. So we kind of just flow through the most, like play with stuff on these days. Try to work the ground and pound a bit, things like that. Things I wouldn't normally do on Wednesday and Friday, just dial in. Things I'm actually going to try doing in the fight, move, switched on. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, flow rounds. I still get a good sweat on, but I get a bit to play a bit more, like try shit. And I feel like that's actually where I improve most. Is when I'm flowing and having fun. Especially with Dave's hitting in and nuts and that. So it's always fun and games. Keeps you alive.
You're always smiling, Sam. You're always smiling.
So I would out or cry. So that's my.
As it gets.
So you can see Sam and Dave went fully padded up. So this was a sort of watered down version of their sparring day. And as Sam was just explaining there, it's good to get that flow so that he can be more expressive and try things without being under so much pressure that it kind of stifles his game. And you can see with someone as light-hearted as Sam and the creativity that they have in this gym, it certainly is beneficial, and it does shine through on fight night. If ever you go and watch any of Sam's fights, you can see he likes to experiment with some stuff, and we can see why that shines through. What you got there, Dave? Is that like a...
Buttery naan. That's nothing to do with you, mate.
Oh, okay.
You want a normal naan? You want a naan?
No.
Bit of bread.
Is it because of the butter
Bit of
on
bread.
it? What's the
No,
thing?
no,
I
it's
know.
all good.
It's vegan, but it's cow juice. You can't have no cow juice,
Okay.
man.
I'm not going to lie, yours looks lovely, mate. I think you're struggling more than me.
So what's the deal, Sam? We're all eating, and you have a
Bottle of water.
an eighth of a jug of mango juice or something.
That's
Orange
orange
juice,
juice, mate.
mango.
Orange
Nah, too close for mango juice. Just orange juice. Yeah, fight time.
How
He
far
likes to
out?
come here and watch us eat.
3.5 weeks, so I'm on a strict diet, to be fair. Not as strict as I could eat this stuff, you know, but I'm disciplined enough that I stick to a certain plan.
So give us your physical stats, Sam, because you're a tall, lean lad. You're one of the bigger 155ers.
Yeah, I'm one of the tallest, because there's quite a few that have come through. I think we had this conversation a couple of years ago, and we spoke about me being 6'3" in the lightweight division. And then after we had that conversation, I see like 3 or 4 6'3" guys get signed to the UFC and stuff, and I'm like, where'd they come from? But yeah, I am one of the taller guys in the division. I've fought even guys that are as tall as me. But 6'3", yeah, everyone thinks that I really struggle with the weight and everything like that, but just being disciplined, I can make the weight. It's not actually as difficult as people would think. I actually love the sport. I love mixed martial arts and I love learning. That's all I want to do. I don't fight for the money. I actually fight because I enjoy fighting. I enjoy martial arts, you know. So I would do it. And if I can give back to people, like the people that have helped me now, that would make me more happy than spoiling myself. And that goes for my parents. If I make it big time, coaches and stuff like that, that would make me more happy than me going to buy something for myself. And that is the honest truth. I would rather be, like I said, on my push bike. I'd go Halfords, get 2 new bikes. I would get 2 new tyres and I'd fit them myself because they charge too much. They charge too much. 14 quid they charge to fit them. I go, just give me the tyres. And Dave don't believe it and I will prove it to him. The same as I said I would get to the UFC. I will prove that to him. And I said that from the day I walked in. I knew on his face, yeah. That kind of yeah. And I will prove him that I will get to the UFC.
The other thing that I respect about your journey is you look at your record and you fought like once or twice in the UK. Yeah. Everywhere else has been on the road. And I mean, weigh in on this, Dave, when you've finished your mouthful, but that poses its own challenges as well. You're taking on quite a bit of responsibility, a lot of unknowns when you go to the Middle East or India with all of the kind of food prep and everything else that goes with it.
We learned from it from the get-go. Like India, the food's different out there. And I got really sick. I know it was little things, yeah. Like after I weigh in, I would eat crap. I just didn't respect it enough, you know. Like I'd weigh in, go to the breakfast buffet, and I would have everything. Because all week I've just thought about it. I'd have pancakes, waffles. After I've just been eating clean for 8 weeks to make the weight, then I would go shoveling a load of food. But that actually was probably beneficial because I actually went away and started looking at my diet and what's good for you and what's not good for you. And it's a learning.
You can't leave him alone.
No.
Because what happens with Sam, yeah? If you leave him by himself, he will go mental at the buffet. After the way, that's why couldn't have him fighting here. Because when we was in India, and I sent him in a taxi back to our hotel, and I get back and there's like a little table. And I'm
He's
like,
ordered the menu.
I'm like, who else is sitting here?
I got everything.
He went, what? I went, who else is sitting here? He went, it's just me. I went, so what's food for? And it's like empty plate there. And then as I'm talking to him, waiter comes up, some more stuff. I'm like,
This is breakfast. This is just after weighing in.
What did you order? He went, all of it. Like, you
And
know,
I ate all of
no,
it.
you can have the extra, you get a buffet, but you got like you can have your eggs, poached or
Omelette
whatever, or
and
you have
stuff.
omelette,
So
or you
you
have
had
French
it- you had it-
toast,
you had them
have
each way.
waffle.
Every single
Had
way.
them
Where
all.
way an egg will
Had them
go,
all.
I had it.
Had them all. I'm like, what are you doing, you idiot?
I actually feel like I needed that to learn about diet and nutrition because now, like I said,
you didn't at the time?
At the time, I didn't even rehydrate. Like I cut weight, when you cut and you're taking the water out of your body, and I didn't rehydrate, I went straight to the buffet. I'd sip a bit of water, obviously because I was thirsty, I'd sip a bit of water and went straight to breakfast and demolished 3-4 plates. I've got no water in my body to even digest the food. I'm like just shoveling in food.
So you must have felt like absolute.
The next day I was puking, woke up fight day, I stayed in bed. Normally I get up, do a shakeout in the morning. Dave comes to the room, he's like, go back to, I went down for breakfast, tried to eat something, I was like, nah, I went back to bed. I was puking, and Dave come up about 2-3 o'clock and was like, we have to make a decision now. It's rather you fix up and we go fight, or we talk the fight off. And I'm just like, let's fucking do this. It is what it is, let's go. I puked, got my stuff ready, we went and fought and got.
Sick fight.
I'm glad they didn't go out the first round because I don't know if I would have made it out the first round.
Get in a cab, go home, done. Go back to the.
So you lot celebrated his win for him.
Yeah.
Yes, because I couldn't physically celebrate, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. And I actually got back to the UK and ended up having gastroenteritis, putting myself in hospital for a week.
Right.
With a stomach infection because of how stupid I was back. But now I'm good, yeah?
Is that the biggest lesson you've learned in your career?
That and my one loss at my pro record.
What lessons did that give you?
Not lose again, 100%. I think I needed that. I'm glad I had that loss earlier in my career. Obviously, everyone wants to be undefeated, but that loss earlier in my career, I thought I was invincible going into that. Like, before that fight, I was on a 6-7 fight win streak, chin in the air, flashy. I didn't really respect the gloves or anything like that. So that loss actually helped me in a way, because once I hit that, my chin come down, my hands come up, and I took the game a bit more seriously, And that went from diet and the loss. Come on, eat up. If this was me, you wouldn't have to ask that. I'm not gonna lie. I would have the plate stacked up. There would have been more eating than talking, to be fair. So it's probably good I'm not eating. Do you want some more of this? Or there's a whole chicken there. Oh,
Save
yeah?
something for the
Good
boys,
plan.
innit?
Can we come here after the fight and do another one?
After Sam watched us all eat, we got back on the road to his next appointment.
Can't rush too badly, John. Fucking 2:30 we were meant to be there. 3 o'clock now. He's gonna get rid of me. He's gonna be like, he's a sponsor. I can't sponsor you anymore. You're never on time, John.
Hey, I can't account for the other times you're not there on time.
I'm always on time to everything I do. Do you know? I'm actually not on time. I'm early everywhere I go.
So what were you like as young Sam Jr.?
Oh, I was a little shitbag, to be honest. No. Where we're from, you see Battlers Green this morning. There wasn't a lot to do, so you made your own fun. We were little shits, to be fair. I would say I just had a lot of energy. I'd be on my BMX. I'd be at school, go out with the kids straight after school, be out all night on my BMX, and then I'd do the same every day. Like, that's all we done. We'd ride our bikes down to the high street and back probably about 5 times a day. That's all we done. It's just cause trouble and be kids, I guess.
How did you find mixed martial arts?
I had 3 brothers, so all we done was fight each other growing up. Like, we always were fighting.
Are you the oldest?
No, I had one older, so we were always fighting and stuff like that. And then my youngest brother wanted to get into training, and he found a place in Watford, trained there, come home and he goes, Sam, you've got to come try this place. And I never looked back. Me and my 2 younger brothers, there was a film when we were growing up called The 3 Ninjas. Yeah, these 3 kids that were trained by like Mr. Miyagi or something like that. It was kind of like that. and they trained each other, and that's what we were like. Growing up, we were like, we're the Three Ninjas. So we'd go train 3 times a week, go home and watch that film and think we were the Three Ninjas doing mixed martial arts. And as we got older, I started taking it a bit more seriously, training, and they obviously went down their own routes. But it was thanks really to my youngest brother. Yeah, my youngest brother told me to go down there. We all went down there and we just never looked back. My mum was paying for all 3 of us to train, and we got a bit of discount because the 3 of us were going. So they were like, well, we'll sort it out. Discount. You know what I mean? A family. And my parents didn't have a lot, you know, and it was mainly to take us off the streets at the time. Because if I wasn't doing that,
they were on board with this.
Yeah, at the time they would rather us be in the gym doing a session, because if we weren't in the gym, we'd be out on the street causing trouble, and they knew that, and everyone knew that. So if my mum could put us into a martial arts gym 3 times a week, that's 3 days we're not on the street causing trouble, and potentially getting arrested, causing becoming bad, you know. So it was good, and it was thanks to my youngest brother that we actually got into it, and I stuck it out. I never looked back, and I just carried on.
Okay.
Go across.
So where are we? What's this place you've brought me to?
So N2 Cryo. This is one of my sponsors that I've had for a few years now. It must be going on a few years. Massive part of my recovery.
So we're going to go and see you in a big
fridge? We're going to go in and see the fridge. Okay. Thanks.
So Sam's boasting about all of the benefits of this smart, but what's the deal, and why are these athletes raving about cryotherapy?
Well, I think the key is because it removes all the inflammation from the body, its recovery time's 4 times faster. So it just means someone like Sam is just ready to go again. So once he's in twice a week now, he's straight ready to go again. So that's the key really, removing that inflammation and getting him ready to go.
Okay.
So you ready, Sam?
Yeah.
Oh.
Here we go.
The spa treatment. Ooh. Deep freeze.
In we go. Straight down to minus 140.
Favourite part of the week. Here we go.
Sam, are you a little bit chilly up there?
I'm the other way. I don't stop talking. I normally just rab it onto Mark because my chin will not. I'll start chapping away otherwise. So it gets a bit cold. So I don't stop talking normally. I just keep going.
Because we're cooling the skin, we cool the skin, which tricks the brain into going into the flight or fight mode. So a lot of people think, oh, it's like an ice bath. It's not like that. It's a lot colder than an ice bath.
Yeah.
So, well, you remember, you've been in it, John.
Yeah.
You went in it last time. Yeah. But no, people think they're going to get used to it, but they never do. And it's quite funny. I mean, the reactions of people when they're in there. I get people that just clam up. I get some people that, like Sam, just constantly talks.
Trying to get through it, just to pass the time. Because if I don't say nothing, honestly, how is it? 2 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. It feels like a lifetime. Honestly, if I don't say no, I'm like, it's over yet. I'm sitting there telling myself, it's over yet. It's over. But if we talk, I'm like, oh, thank God it's done.
I guess someone like you is always trying to make sure that you're being as professional as possible and you're doing everything that you can for success.
Yes.
So is there anything left? Now that you've got like the recovery sorted out, obviously the technical training, is there anything that you don't think that you're doing that your competition are?
The little things like the others aren't doing. I believe I've got the full package now, and you've seen in my last 3-4 performances really. My recovery, my training, my diet, all those little 1%, I've got it all. I've got it structured to me. It works for me. And I think without the way I train and how much I train, like you've been around me today and how much I do, I do that every single day. Like it's not just, oh, you got the cameras in, we'll make it a hard day. Every day I do 2 to 3 sessions a day, 6 days a week. So my recovery really needs to be on point. The main thing I tell myself a lot is I control what I can control. I don't let all the outside stuff with social media and everything play it. If it doesn't affect me, if it can't affect me, I don't let it affect me, you know? Like if I can't control the situation, why am I going to put the stress on me? I don't do it. So that's why it's so simple, because I control what I can control. And the rest will just happen and fall into place. And that's my structure of my week, my training, my diet. I lay it out. Obviously, I'd like it to go to plan, but if it doesn't go to plan, or so, like I'm riding my bike and I get a puncture, I can't control it if it happens, but I deal with it as it goes along. I don't have all like outside things, a friend. I have a few friends I rely on, but all those friends that want to go out party at the weekend and distract you from the goal that very few make.
So talking about that, I feel like I'm 20 years removed from that part of my life, but when I was a teenager, and I did a little bit of training at the time, I was involved in sports, but it was very important for me to be with my circle of friends. They were the ones calling me up, and it was enjoyable. So how have you managed to swerve that and stay true to this kind of martial arts journey?
The more I got dedicated to MMA, and I started dedicating myself to MMA, the less friends I had. Because my friends would all ask me, "Are you going out?" I'm like, "I can't, I'm training." And they slowly start simmering out. They stop asking you to go out, and they stop. And I just started getting, the more, like, I felt like it was a chart, just changing, like, out with your friends. And as I started to dedicate myself to MMA and it switched roles, they stop asking as much.
Did you ever feel like you were missing out?
Sometimes, but truthfully, now when I speak to my friends and they all contact me now that I'm doing quite well and they see me winning and stuff, they look at me like I'm the one doing the right thing.
Following Sam's chill outs, we headed back to Team Crossface for his next session. I'm going to get some work in with Sam this evening. This is the CSW, Combat Submission Wrestling class. It's time for me to get this old body warmed up, get a little work in with Sam, and see how he's moving for the young lad that he is, with a fight coming up.
Sit. Hey. Right. It's right, you got the option. Keep going. It's been a tough day, isn't it? We were running this morning, training this morning.
So is this like a typical day then, Sam?
Yeah, this is.
I mean, obviously this was atypical for you.
The extra interviews. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and this is just a typical day for me. I don't play up to the camera or do extra because we've got a camera crew in all day.
And you got to cycle home yet?
I've still got to cycle home. I don't even class that as part of my training. Honestly, that's just my travel of getting here and back. You get in your car and go home. I get on my bike and go home.
Yeah.
But it's a typical day for me. 3 sessions a day, normally 2 in the gym, 1 on my own, a run or something, a swim. And yeah, 6 up to a fight, 6 days a week, 3 sessions a day. Standard for me. This is, I know nothing else. This is all I do.
So I haven't asked you this yet. What's the dream?
That's a good question. The dream. The goal is to make it to the UFC. The dream is to make the people around me comfortable. That would be a dream for me. That would be a dream. Everyone says UFC gold and stuff, but that's a goal to me because I believe a dream is bigger than that. A dream is bigger than a goal. I feel like a goal is the UFC. Then I get to the UFC, break the top 10. Where I break the top 10, I want to go into the championship. That's a goal. A dream is to make the people that come up with me and supported me when I was nothing and I had nothing, to make them comfortable. That would be my dream. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. Winning impressively, and I'll get there. All of the guys that I've fought have had double, some of them triple the amount of wins I've had them fights. You know what I mean? They've got more wins than I've had fights, and I'm beating them.
Thank you for having us down today, Sam. Much appreciated, very much enjoyed hanging out with you. Home visit, but all the same, I think we got a little bit more personal, a little closer today.
That's it, a little short trip, but great day. And yeah, you come down any day. You could pick one out of the blue, and every single day would be a hard day for me. No days easy. 3 sessions a day. Come down anytime.
I can attest. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you very much.
Ride safely.
Boss.
Well, today's been a real fun one for me. I really got to know a little bit more about my friend Sam, the training partner that I've had for many, many years. And what stuck out for me is his mindset. He has the kind of mindset that I've seen in mixed martial artists that have gone all the way. He keeps things very simple and he's absolutely steadfast in his goals. And if he keeps true to that and he stays with the work ethic with this team and that coach, I really do think that Sam Patterson might well be the future. Cheers, man.
Your winner, by guillotine, Sam The Future!
for watching. For more content, including behind the scenes of UFC events, technical breakdowns, interviews and more, hit that subscribe button. I hope to see you soon.